Coming up on Mountain News this morning, even more Eastern Kentucky students prepared to return to the classrooms as their schools continue to recover after historic flooding. And a Kentucky interest group does its part in helping get our region back on its feet by making some generous donations to organizations involved with cleanup efforts.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. 5 o'clock here on this Wednesday. It's Wednesday. I'm Dakota Maycris. Good morning. Let's head over to Brandon for a look at our forecast this morning.
It's technically your Thursday.
You know what? It's not even 5 o'clock yet, and I'm already acting up.
It's okay. And if you just said Thursday Eve, I would have come over there and given you a piece of my mind.
On air?
On air.
Man, you would have been out of a job so fast. Oh, well, it'd have been funny, though.
Listen, I guess if you're going to go out big.
Absolutely.
Listen, as much as I displeasure with you and Saturday Eve, I'll let you have it, but I'm not going to take part in it. Anyway, let's see what's going on out there this morning. Students in Letcher County going back to school today. They're dealing with some fog as you head out the door. So again, be careful. Not as bad as it has been, but a little bit out there still this morning. Could get a little bit worse as we get progressively deeper into the day. And it's going to be a hot one. It's the last official day of summer, and you can already see it building in out there. 78 in Louisville. They were at 74 just a few minutes ago, and you're seeing temperatures in the 50s and 60s here in our region, but the heat is building. So get ready. Almost an iced coffee day, still a normal coffee day for now, but temperatures will soar as we head into the afternoon hours. Mostly sunny skies and hot, 90 degrees, a daytime high. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, students at one Letcher County school returned to the classroom on Monday, while many others return this morning. Following flooding in late July, Burdine Elementary School in Jenkins was damaged. Tile had to be removed, a preschool classroom was destroyed, and the school's playground was carried off by swift waters. Principal Amanda Anderson says she was worried how the students would feel at first, but after seeing the classrooms full of smiling students, she realized they were just happy to be back together again.
There's some of us that see these kids and see each other more than we see our own family and our own kids. So we're real partial to our building, and we want it to look pretty. I want all my kids to be happy here, and you worry that happy is the condition of the building, and it's not.
Well, Anderson says this tragedy is also an opportunity to build back even bigger and better than before. Well, while the amount of damage across the region following the historic flood, county governments are overwhelmed, but that's when groups like the Breathitt County Long-Term Recovery Team step in. The recovery team was founded by a handful of people who live in the county who wanted to help people following the flood and another flood of March of 2021. Now the group is continuing their work, but on a much larger scale.
Once we got involved, certainly saw the need and the value to help the community. And so this group is a continuation of that. Plus, there's lots of other people starting to get involved because this flood is so much bigger and so much more destructive than the last one.
The recovery team is volunteer-based and funded through community partners and donations. FEMA officials say they have called, texted, sent letters, emails, and even sent specialized teams door to door in an effort to reach some flood survivors. But they say they have been unable to reach nearly 800 homeowners and almost 1,000 renters. FEMA says because they have not been able to reach these people, they will not receive any assistance. Officials say homeowners and renters who have not heard anything after applying for assistance should reach out to FEMA by calling the number you see on your screen or visiting a disaster recovery center nearby. AARP Kentucky is advocating for people impacted by the late July floods, investing in the organizations with boots on the ground. The organization donated $45,000 to Eastern Kentucky organizations, $10,000 each to the 2 area development districts, $15,000 to God's Pantry Food Bank, and $10,000 to Apple Red Legal Aid. Recipients say the money will go a long way toward their respective efforts, helping Eastern Kentucky's hardest hit people.
We have received about 200 calls so far. The vast majority of those deal with FEMA assistance denials. So we are assisting folks in appealing their FEMA denials and trying to help them get what they are entitled to get from FEMA.
AARP representatives say the funds are specifically targeting people 50 years old and up, many of whom are being helped by the organizations we mentioned. Well, with fall just, now 1 day away, pharmacists and other health professionals are gearing up for flu season. And if you are wanting a flu shot, you can go ahead and get it now. Pharmacist Tyler Wells says we're on the cusp of flu season.
With the change in the season, usually we kind of know that's when flu's coming into summer, start of fall.
He recommends people get vaccinated by the end of October. It takes 2 weeks for your body to build up antibodies. Last year, Hometown Pharmacy of Hazard administered 50 flu vaccines.
Overall, though, it was a fairly effective year for the flu vaccine. They've not released the exact numbers yet. I think previous year was 29% effectiveness.
Kentucky River District Health Department Public Health Director Scott Lockard says if you get the flu shot but you still get the flu, that means you could have gotten a less dominant strand of the virus.
For the vaccine, as we have seen, it may protect us from getting the flu, or if we do get the flu, it may cause it to be much less severe illness than what normally would have occurred.
Lockard says they expect to see more flu cases this year as we move away from our COVID practices like wearing masks. He still encourages people to wear masks while in crowded spaces, but says vaccines are most effective.
Vaccines are recommended for everyone 6 months and older. The flu vaccine this year is a quadrivalent vaccine. It protects against 4 strains of influenza.
Staying healthy as colder weather heads our way. In Hazard, Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News. Health officials also say if you are impacted by flooding and are cleaning up, make sure you're up to date on a tetanus shot. Well, thank you so much for getting your Wednesday morning started with us here on Mountain News this morning. When we come back, Hurricane Fiona gains some strength as it makes its way across the Caribbean, leaving behind major flooding and massive power outages.
Like me, you are ready to say so long to summer. If you're a summer fan, you might be ready for it to end after today. I'll have the CB forecast in about 3 minutes.